and I screwed that up because I haven't done this in a while, Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
I need to put the timer out. There we go. My good friend Jeremy, what's going on, brother?
Welcome.
Welcome to Countercharge.
Mm-hmm.
Live Sunday night virtual. I don't know
What is today? What do they call it? Boxing Day in other countries? Is that the day after Christmas?
I don't know. Is it?
I think it's called Boxing Day.
Okay. I just call it Sunday, December 26th, the day after Christmas. The day after. So let me know, what'd you get for Christmas? I'm sure you got tons of stuff.
Well, we didn't really do a lot of Christmas. We did some Christmas early, but when we went to Texas for Living Legends, that was sort of our big Christmas trip. So Hillary and I decided to kind of not do presents very much, but I did buy myself some Christmas presents. I picked up some more of the models I'm using for my harpies or my gargoyles. So I got 4 boxes of those. So I got all my gargoyles. I got a bunch of stuff printed. I'm waiting for my Twilight Kin. So I ended up getting like a bunch of models sort of this last month, rounding out. And then I've just been trying to assemble, and I know you've had some good weather, trying to get assembled and primed to get my stuff for the winter all ready to go, you know? What about you?
I'm the same way. I have so much crap laying around that needs to get painted, and there are odds and ends, like a little bit of Legion, a little bit of Kings of War, a little bit Vanguard. So I just said, screw it. We're going all in. And this past week, I pretty much spent the entire week assembling, washing, and priming models. So got all my Aeronauticus Imperialis stuff primed, and I got all the rest of my Dead Zone stuff primed, including all the terrain, which is a huge task. I got all my ogres primed, and so the only thing left to do is I still got to prime some goblins. I'll probably do that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've just been priming and spraying and trying to sort out. Like, it's funny, we've been talking about bags behind the scenes. Like, I was a big Table War guy, and then eventually the Table War just, at some point, it just sort of like, it's just so heavy. You're just like, and it requires so much like effort to get stuff into the Table War, because Table War doesn't come with the metal sheets, right? You have to glue those.
There's some assembly required, right?
Yeah,
when you're setting up a.
It's not like just pull it off the shelf and it's ready to roll. So
yeah,
and the fact that War Room Hobbies carries Battle Foam means that I have been slowly transitioning over to that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I did Thursday, I went and I bought the last little bit that I needed to basically finish out my bags. And basically what I ended up doing was shift everything one bag up. So like that meant Star Wars Legion, which was in a 432 bag, went to the next size up, and then the ogres were in that 752 into the big bag.
And you're using the interior as their magnetic system, right?
Yeah. So in the inside, I'm using Magna Rack sliders.
Okay.
So it's basically like and the reason why I like it is a couple of reasons. Number one is it's wider, and what I mean by that is or I should say deeper. So the Table War is only like maybe like 18 inches deep,
and
this bag
from
is like
front
to back. Yeah. So it's like tall and skinny. Yeah. This is like squat. It's like almost like a square. And so I've had issues where the Table War would fall over.
Yes.
And destroy an army. So and if you put metal models in the Table War, it is, like my ogres, ridiculously heavy.
It's like a piece of band equipment. You feel like you're pulling around like an amp or something. It's
exactly heavy. So now I moved, like the big armies I have a rolly bag, like just roll it into the thing. And so that meant that I freed up a small little bag from Battle Foam, which now has Armada in it, because I had Armada in the small table war case, which I still like, but it's too small.
Now, could you do and I used to do this a little bit with my Battle Foam and the Pluck Foam, where I would have like 1 or 2 cases, and then I could take interchange the foam in and out.
Yeah, so you could just for example, you could just have like the big case sitting over in the corner with all the shelves in it, and you could just pull out a shelf and slide it into the other case. They have 2 size shelves. The 432 has a smaller shelf, but everything else uses the same size shelf. So yeah, you could have, if you have the medium or the large size bags, they all use the same shelf and they're interchangeable. So you could just so you could have like an empty bag sitting on the corner, like sitting over here, and you could go pull from the other bags what you needed and take it with you. Yeah. So you didn't have to.
Because I do really like the quality of their bags are always really nice. Like all their zippers, their patches, it's just the craftsmanship on those bags is really nice, but I moved away from them in the era of magnetization. So I think the next time I'm ready for a new figure case, I think I'm going to go, because I had a 720 before. I might go.
720 is a little on the small side if you have big tall models.
Okay. So what size do you have?
I have a 720. I have a 720, and that's got all my Legion stuff in it now. I can carry a 2,000 point Ogre army as well. But my Ogre army is like 6,000 points at this point, so it had to go to the 1540, which is the big bag with the
that's like the roller handle bag almost.
Yeah. And I have my goblins in there as well. Like, I think if you think about it, it's like the 1540, you can put 17 inches in it, right? So what that means is you can put as many trays as you want. You have 17 inches of space, right? And they make a 6-inch riser, a 5-inch riser, a 4-inch riser, a 3-inch riser, and a 2-inch riser. And you can put any combination of those and however many trays you want, right? But I'm finding like ogres, the big guys, you need like 3 or 4 inches minimum. And like my
mammoths, it looks like for inches. the black 1520 with the Magna Rack sliders is $400.
Yep.
So not cheap, but I mean,
it's not cheap, but it's out of but you don't buy it from Battle Foam, right?
That's true.
Because Mike,
I'm just looking at their website. So
yeah. So yeah, don't pay retail, right? Like, you can usually get 20% off. But the thing is, it's out of it's shelf to use. There's no I have to figure it. No, you don't have to figure anything out.
No, you just take it from where it's stored and put it in the case, and you're good to go.
Exactly. And so I've been enjoying it, and also it's another opportunity for me to get back to the store. Right, I literally have too many models. I don't need to buy more. I don't need to buy more models at this point.
And they hit about it in the chat, right? That you can put if you have you can get the roller and then put another one on top, right?
Correct. They have this the 1540 has zippers on the top. Yeah, so you can put another bag on top too. Yeah, and Jay Jefferson making a good point here too. For storage of armies, I use the same thing. I have like tons and tons of really useful boxes, which just shelf liner down, and I just store it in there. Those are the armies that don't get played very much, or only get played like every maybe twice a year. But if I'm traveling to an event or something, I prefer to have them in a little bit of bag with a little bit more magnetization. I mean, you recall when the Brits came over for Lone Wolf that year, and the poor guy had his bag was magnetized, and there was no car wreck, and it completely vaporized his army.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. And now, should also note that you can't fly with a 1540. I don't even think you can fly with a 720. I think you might be able to. I don't know. I haven't done the math, but
I have because you can't, because the 720, they have one that I had that's their official meets TSA guidelines, and I believe it was the.
And you wouldn't want to use Magna Racks for flying, anyways, right? Like, that's just bad, right? Because you're banging it around and stuff, and potentially it could.
I think it's the 432. Well, they have one specifically that they I forget what it is, but
the 432 is the next size down, and it's basically the same height as the 720, but it's not as
thinner.
Deep. Yeah, and it has its own. I have a Magna Rock bag for that too as well, and that's great for a skirmish game, like Star Wars Legion. I have all my stuff. I had all my stuff in that bag with room to spare. So
Yeah, when it comes to flying on a plane, I can't think of anything much better than just the metal toolbox, because it's just like that perfect shape to fit in an overhead. Or I guess you could do a piece of Tupperware too and put metal,
well, the other thing you could do is just wrap your stuff up in like bubble wrap or something and put it in your luggage or put it in a
Yeah,
container. But
depending on what type of
I mean, I
models
still have
here.
Sable. I still have a Sable Army
Mhm.
transport with some foam that I use for some armies. And I think I have a KR multi case for my Vanguard or my. Well, it was Warriors of Chaos. I haven't used it since, but it was a Warriors of Chaos army at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been doing a lot. I've been doing a lot of that. We're taking the racks out and readjusting and putting in. Because what's really cool about it is you can buy the bag, you can buy a kit, but you can also just buy the shelf separately. The shelves are like $35.
Yeah, so you can use the same outside bag for whatever you want to put in it. You just have extra of the interior stuff, is what you're
Well,
saying?
that or if you don't want to buy the full kit, well, maybe the kit has too many shelves,
Mhm.
right? It's because you have real big stuff and you need less shelves, so you could just buy the spacers and buy the shelves, or vice versa. You could also buy the kit and add more, like I did with the goblins. You can buy extra shelves because most of my shelves are 2 inches or 3 inches. So it's great because you can adjust it pretty quickly.
Okay.
And that's one of the things I liked about Table War 2, right? You could adjust it real quickly as well.
Does it have any sort of protection for when you're pulling the tray out? The problem I had with my tableware case sometimes is I had 2 trays, right? I had the bottom tray and this top tray. I would pull out just a little bit, and then it would fall like this. And
Well,
then if there was
Tableware has a thing where it shouldn't pull out. Like it has like a thing you have to lift it up to clear the back. But
that's
maybe
where
if it's
mine just pulls right out.
okay. The thing is, the bag is so wide that I am finding you can pretty much pull out like the tray like halfway and it doesn't fall.
And it doesn't
Because
collapse.
I should mention the trays don't just sit in there, right? Like
Mhm.
they go into a groove from the
Okay.
front and they slide in and it snaps in like on 3 sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see what exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't use any magnetization for traveling on an airplane. What's Mr. Felix Hetero?
Yeah, I mean, I've never had a problem with that either. I just take it in a suitcase and it just goes through the metal detector and goes through the thing. And sometimes they ask me to open it and I just open the top and they take a look and then they send me on my way.
I guess the other thing that I liked about the battle foam is that they have pockets, but then they also have this moly stuff. It's like a military thing where you can buy different attachments and add to the bag. Like you can add a little thing for books or they have pockets
Dyson. It's just all those components. Yeah, and all of them are all really nice. I found are good quality.
Very quality.
Are just well made products.
Exactly.
So cool. I'm gonna take a look at that because, like I said, that was how when I played 40K back in the day and did everything via Pluck Foam. I mean, those were my cases, were the battle foam cases. So
exactly. So what have you been? Let's do a little unplugged here. What have you been watching? What have you been reading?
Well, we went and saw the new Spider-Man movie.
Was it good?
I went and saw that with my sister before Christmas. It was amazing, really good. So that was really good. They had the finale of the Wheel of Time on Amazon that I've been watching. They had that.
Let me ask you: are you disappointed with it, or did you really enjoy it?
Some things I like, some things I don't like. The things that I like that are the things that I liked more than I thought I would. I like them in a greater proportion than the things I didn't like. Up to the finale, I did not care for. The season finale was, it's tough. They have 8 episodes. To try to fit a 1,200-page book into 8 one-hour episodes is really difficult. So they have to make choices and figure out. So in general, I like the season. I was hoping that the final episode would have been like, oh wow, really excited for next season. Whereas now it's kind of like, but I guess they're supposed to have more money. I was reading an article in Hollywood Reporter or something. Their second season's getting more money, and in the first season, one of the actors got fired, like with only 2, or didn't, I don't know, left the show with 2 episodes left, so he's getting recast for next season, and he's a major character of the book. So basically, he's just not in the last 2 episodes. And the last episode, man, I think they just ran out of money because there was CG that was like unfinished, and
Oh.
it was COVID, so you could tell that they couldn't hire a bunch of extras and like fill them in with CG. So
Mhm.
there's supposed to be this huge battle at the end of the book, and there's like 20 guys like writing, writing their little, and some of it felt like reading like bad fan fiction. That having been said, there are some stuff I really like out of the whole season of the show. Um, so it's going to be curious to see where they go in season 2. Do they double down? Because I guess it's gotten really great numbers streaming wise. Like it's been a hit for them as far as viewership. So now I think it's will Amazon invest a little bit more money. So I've been watching that, and then Hawkeye's season finale was this last week too. A Disney Plus show, which I really like. It was cool. They did it like set in Christmas in New York, so it's a very much a Christmas vibe to the whole show, which I thought was
Mhm.
pretty fun. And there's this sort of side thing on Broadway is it's called like Rogers, and it's the Steve Rogers story. So in this universe, they made a Broadway show about Captain America, and there's some scenes from it, and it's just super meta, and I love it coming from the theater, and it's really funny that and it's interesting to see now that like people know who Hawkeye is like on the street. They're like, oh, he's an Avenger. So it's like he's recognized a little bit. So these are heroes who have been heroes in the world long enough that everyone knows who they are. And there's a couple scenes with Hawkeye that he gets involved with some LARPers, some like D&D live action role players, and it's really funny. So
I'll
what
check
about
it
you?
out.
What have you been watching?
Oh gosh, what have I been watching? I think I mentioned off air. I've been watching the on Disney Plus the Beatles Get Back series, and at first it's like super daunting. It's like 3 episodes of like 2.5 hours each.
Peter Jackson, right?
Peter
Put that
Jackson.
together? Yeah.
So long story short, there was an intention on their part to um, record an album live, and they decided we're not only we're going to do that, we're going to like document the process of us rehearsing and learning and writing the songs, and then we're going to end with let me make sure I'm hearing a little background, make sure I got my thing muted. Is that you, Jeremy? I'm hearing a little bit of where that's coming from.
Maybe it was.
I don't think
I'll
so.
mute.
That's right. I don't know. Anyways, it went away. So yeah, so basically they were going to record themselves the process of actually recording the album. And I'm like 2 hours in and I'm like, this is freaking dull, dude. And then George Harrison quits in the first episode. So I'm like, okay, this just got interesting. So it sucked me back in. So I've been watching that. It's really, I would say on a whole, if you're a Beatles fan, you're into it. If you're just a casual Beatles fan like me, it's like, I could probably live with just the Cliff Notes.
Mm-hmm.
But super pumped because it comes out this week. The Book of Boba Fett. I'm super pumped about that. And Friday, Cobra Kai season 4, man.
Did you go see the new Ghostbusters?
I did. It was amazing. So,
okay, because I want to see that. I haven't.
I won't give any spoilers, but here's what I'll say: it's refreshing when people just give the fans what they want,
like unabashed.
Just give me what. Just give me what I look. Just give me. Just give me what I want, right? Which is
no subversion of expectations.
No,
and you're
no,
happy.
no Last Jedi bullshit. Just give me Ghostbusters, right? And it was, and to be frank, it's its own thing, right? Like it's its own thing. It's not like a remake. It's it's not Force Awakens where it's just a remake of New Hope, right? It's its own thing with its, and the lead is a girl. Like it's got its own story, but it pays the right homage to what came before, and it doesn't just like turn its back on, because a lot of times when you have these remakes, well, let me be honest with you, there hasn't been very many remakes I liked. Battlestar Galactica, an amazing remake because they just did it right. Like they just said, okay, we're gonna do all these things, but they did it right. This is another one that does it right. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to see it. It's great.
Now I haven't watched it, but I've heard the Lost in Space show is good. As far as
remakes. I saw the first couple episodes. It's hard. It's harder to get into.
Oh, okay, but I just heard as far as remakes, some people have.
Well, and then and then you talk about remakes or resequels. I mean, Cobra Kai, dude. Like that is the definitive gold standard. I mean, like you can't get any better than that. I mean, it's freaking amazing, right? Like it's. I mean, if you're into the Karate Kid, I mean, if you're
Yeah, I
a
mean,
man
that's
of
a
a certain
show.
age,
Yeah, that's a show that shouldn't work. That works beyond all expectation. Like,
yeah. I mean, you make Johnny the good guy, right?
yeah, hmm
I mean, if
yeah,
have you seen the YouTube video where they actually
yes, yeah, sort of
where Johnny is the good guy?
yeah,
It
and they
drives me
ran with
crazy,
that.
but
No, I'm
yeah, Phil.
excited. I'm excited for that to see that too.
And
Looks good.
and did you watch the trailer for the new Obi-Wan show?
Yes.
Oh my
Mhm.
god! Like I literally had a hard time. Like,
Now,
I
is that
was
the one where they're interviewing Ewan McGregor? Oh, and he's talking. Yeah, 'cause
talking
that
about
was
Hayden
on.
Christensen.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
the
yeah,
band
yeah,
back
yeah.
together. I'm like, that
Mhm,
is. I am. This right here, though, Felix. It's gonna make me dust out my Legion. Definitely gonna make.
mhm.
And unfortunately, the Mandalorian models are the ones I don't have painted. I have everything else painted. But yeah, I'm gonna have to. Oh, so excited about it. I guess the other thing I've been doing lately is my daughter actually got into a mood where she was agreeable to watch stuff that I was gonna like set up for her to watch. Like
Uh-huh.
okay, let's watch some stuff that I like. So we did Rogue One because she's never been like a
My
Star Wars.
favorite of the Disney era Star Wars
Yes,
movies is the best one.
it's number 4 on my list. I 4 or 5. So like one. So my order number 2, number 1, number 3. Well, actually, let me back up. I screwed that order up. Sorry. Number 5, number 4,
Mhm,
number 6,
mhm,
number 3, and then Rogue One. Rogue One though, and Revenge of the Sith both really enjoyed it.
mhm.
So but yeah, Rogue One is amazing. And then like I was gobsmacked when I'm like, well, let's watch The Hobbit. So
Mhm.
we watched the entire Hobbit. And by the way, it is super important. Like I we the extended versions, like even though they are ridiculously long, there's stuff in there that like I can't believe they still cut it. Like
Because I did not enjoy the Hobbits in the movie. I mean, I
I didn't
don't
either.
yeah,
But
I
like,
don't think I've
okay,
ever even watched them.
so there's one scene in particular that's not in the extended version, and
Mm.
when I noticed it was missing, I'm like, wait, Aubrey, were we watching the extended version? She's like, no. I'm like, oh, we gotta watch. There's a part where literally like the battle scene between Thranduil and all the Wood Elves and Dale and Dane and
Mhm,
the Ironfoot dwarves. They fight before the orcs show up.
mhm,
It's not in there, like at all. Like basically,
mhm,
what happens is like let's give them a round kicking, and then like the orcs show up in this version. Like there's
mhm,
like 10 minutes of battle that's gone. Like they don't show the goats charging. They don't show
mhm.
the devices with the big spear that blow that spins and wipes out all the arrows. I don't know if you're
Oh,
even
is that
talking.
not in the regular
That's not in the
version?
non-extended version. I was like,
Oh,
what the hell?
okay. I
So
must have
yeah,
seen that on YouTube or something.
oh, it's amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, so right on. Yeah, so those are the main shows I've been watching is just thanks Facebook user.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, that's awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a good year. I think I Jeremy, I had a fun. We had fun with that end of the year episode too.
yeah, no, I think it was good. It was like
Did you listen
I
to it?
yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah, it's nice to hear everyone and yeah, it was funny to think of like I don't know, like I was totally thinking 2020 and 2021 feel like to me one giant size. I can't discern what was in which year.
By the way, that was
'Cause
Tom Annis's comment. By the way,
okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
because he doesn't share his title. He's a spy master.
No, yeah, he has to be mysterious.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark, hello, my friend.
Fantastic.
Merry Christmas to you.
I don't either.
Yeah, so this week I'm still on vacation. So my goals, maybe we talk about because you're on vacation till the end of the year,
Hmm.
right? Okay.
Hmm.
So I've gotten my first unit of gargoyles assembled, primed, and I almost finished the base today. So I was working on the base today. So I want to get that done because that's one of the units I need for February for Riddle of Steel because Britain's loaning me a bunch of stuff, but not that. And then this week I want to go see the new Ghostbusters movie. And I did watch The Matrix, but I streamed it. I watched it.
Yeah, I
It
haven't
was on-
watched it yet. I will. And also, don't forget the Kingsman movie came out.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big
Um,
fan of that as well.
so I think I'm going to try to get to the movies, do a matinee or so. I love going to the movies.
Does your wife have
so
to work?
she is working. Yeah.
Oh man,
Mhm.
that sucks.
Yes. So, but she's been
For
really
her.
good. I was like, in the beginning, I told her, I was like, please, please don't be jealous and angry at me that I'm on vacation. So, but I've been trying to at least, if I can, if she needs something, go to the store. You know what
Right.
I mean? Or stuff like try to,
Exactly. I haven't watched The
help
Witcher
out.
season 2 either yet.
I have
That's
not watched. That's on my to
yeah.
watch
So
list
that's on
too.
my to watch list. And there's real talk. The problem is there's too much stuff on TV, and I'm having to like you mentioned the Amazon show Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it. It's just
Mhm.
too much other stuff that I'm more interested in. That I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm not gonna waste whatever it is 8 hours on something that I could never be bothered to read the books
Yeah,
of.
and when I'm painting too, I need to be watching something I've already seen,
Yeah.
because if it's something I've never seen before, I'm gonna be constantly like,
Yeah, yeah. Or sports works too.
Mhm,
But yeah. Like there's also YouTube. Like there's
mhm.
various channels. There's one called Professor of Rock, which is really cool, where he
Oh
interviews
yeah. Mhm.
various people. But yeah,
Yeah, there's
so
a bunch of comic book channels I like to watch on YouTube. So I hear you. I watch a lot of YouTube, just regular,
exactly.
as if it was just TV, just put on YouTube and watch stuff.
Well, let's do this. We were going to get some questions here. Our thoughts. Let me see if I have a thing here. If there's any questions that were. I think Nick. I can find it. I thought Nick. Maybe not. I thought I saw a question from Nick. Maybe I missed it. Oh, here we go. All right, so we were gonna, open up the questions to the audience, and Nick Brooks
Mhm.
wrote, "What are your favorite theories? Hope for new products that Mantic might release in 2022." That's the first part. Especially since Mantic is going to roll out release announcements on their blog in the next few weeks.
Oh yeah, did you see that over the
Yeah,
next
my
couple
favorite
days?
pet theory is Vanguard Second Edition. Well, Vanguard Second Edition, um, we're already we already got it kind of a second edition.
Mhm.
They 1.5, but they already roll. I don't think you're going to see a Vanguard Second Edition this year because they just put out a new book where it rolled all the books together and updated all the scenarios and some of the rules. So I think we're a year out from that
Mhm.
for that one. But I don't know. I'll throw it over to you. What are your favorite theories? Hope for
Did
new
you
products that Mantic might release in 2020. Yeah.
Did you see Ronnie's letter where he did like a letter to the community and was like, we're going to be talking about stuff. And on one of the days he says, like, check the blog on this day. We're going to talk about this, yada, yada. And one thing he mentions is something called Overdrive. Do you know what that is?
Overdrive's that game that came out within September, written by Rob Berman.
Oh,
It's
okay.
arena combat.
I
It's
must
set
have
in
missed.
like the Dreadball.
Oh, okay.
Dreadball?
I must have missed that. I was like, oh, that's not familiar. Or I'm not familiar. And then I did see it. They said Warpath second edition. That was, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, that's like one of their, I still don't know what they're doing with Warpath. I mean, Dead Zone, I think, is unique enough, but trying to compete against the big boy in that arena seems tough. But
Well, Warzone, not Warzone, Warpath.
Warpath,
Uh, so really, Warpath is the bigger scale game. What's the one in between Dead Zone and
firefight.
Firefight? That's more traditional 40K.
Okay, so
And that's the one that's they're actually not going to compete with 40K because they're moving it more towards Dead Zone. So
mhm.
maybe they'll do the same thing with Warpath.
I don't know. I don't think we're going to see it. I would be surprised if we see another faction this next year for Kings.
Kings of War.
I think we're going to see just them maybe filling out, or if it's a new faction, maybe they go to elves and they redo some old stuff. Because I know that they've been talking for a long time. There's art for elves, there's art for Twilightkin, and how they were third edition. If we've done art for it, it's on our to-do list to do models for. Or maybe we'll see the Brotherhood Vanguard, Brotherhood or Brother Mark for Vanguard or something. So I think we're going to see a little bit more. That's my prediction, is no new factions, but we'll see factions that we know. I could see a new elf update, or I don't know. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I don't think we're getting any more factions. I think at this point,
Yeah.
that ship has sailed. I think we will at some point get a new starter box, a 2-player starter set, and I think,
Halflings and Rift Forge are
That would be my guess.
right.
Yeah, that would be my guess because you got hard plastic, right? You know, the salamanders already had hard plastic, but they're old, so like, yeah, they would probably want to go with their latest and greatest. So I'm thinking that's probably one of the things I. Let's see here. Here's what we got here. Very possible. Yeah. By the way, if you didn't check it out, though, the blog from Ronnie, there's a 50% discount for the new Clash of Kings book. For those of you that are having a hard time getting it, get it digitally, 50% off. So you can start smashing face with the rest of us.
See, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, they've been really trying to do like these hard plastic kits or kits that you can be used for multiple things. So maybe we see a new Gladestalker kit, but it has
maybe one that can be used in all three armies.
Yes, so you can make the regular elves, the Sylvankin, and the Twilightkin. They'll put like little different doodads or whatever, so you could make whatever you want.
I think it's tricky. Yeah, I really think it's tricky because it's sort of like with the Drakon Riders, they've sort of said to the world that we're going to keep the same look as those old elves. But yet, at some token, I think the Sylvankin and the Twilightkin are an opportunity to distance themselves.
Well, I know people like a lot of the people like there's a League of Infamy has some updated regular elf models that people like that sort of are still within that same look of their elves, but a little bit more updated. Yeah, but I think we're going to see some new elves this year. And that's not coming from any knowledge that I have, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see that this year.
Yeah. So, just going back to Nick's question, I think, what are your favorite theories? Hope for new products. I really think we'll get a new 2-player starter set for sure. We will probably have another because it's not uncommon to think they'll probably get a supplement to do a campaign again this summer. A la Halby's Rift. But in terms of armies, I think what some of these folks are saying, is true. Like what Chuck is saying here. I think it's more. I think I'm ready for them to be like more about fleshing out the armies. And yes, Tom, we're bringing the whole kit caboodle. So it. So maybe Tom and I need to record an army review.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Last time we did nature at Kings of Monsters last year.
Well, I know Tom. He's been playing. He's got a really interesting halflings list he's working on.
Is it too early to do a halflings review though? I'm wondering, like, legitimately, do we have enough time on the bench?
I mean, people are starting to get some games. I know that he's made some changes to his undead a little bit. He played ogres the other night. Because George O'Connell said,
because ogres are like the Rubroke army, right?
Yeah, and we played that, and let's just say he did not win that game. But yeah, so
Salians.
No, I've been playing just my Twilightkin.
Oh, because they're not broken.
Not at all. Nothing.
Oh yeah, defense 6. I wound you on 4s. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the real thing is Alchemist Curse, man, because they can take a level 3 wizard. So Alchemist Curse. So against defense 6, it's 10 dice on 4s, wounding on 2s, and because you have that, Twilight can have that character that can make a unit. Basically, any spell you cast against that unit has elite. So essentially, it's your defense 5. I have 9 dice on 4s with elite. So I mean, Alchemist Curse is really good. So I'm curious to see. I think people are still kind of running around with their hair on fire, not knowing. Is shooting back? Is it too good? Is it not too good? Is it, I think people still don't really know, but there's a lot of people running around.
Well, if you don't mitigate it, it can be, right? But Alchemist Curse takes cover penalty now.
Yes.
There is Spell Ward. There is Veil of Shadows. There are things you can do. And if you choose not to do it, then you probably are going to get rocked off the table. But it's hard, right? Because it's sort of like you're in this position where how much points do I? It feels like Warhammer. I hate to say this, but back in the day, it was always like, okay, how much points do I spend on anti-magic?
Yeah.
Right.
Or you need to have some utility based. But I mean, I feel I have my list for Masters. My Twilightkin list is locked now, pretty much. Yeah. It's just I have like a version of it that's more aggressive. and that has Alchemist Curse, some different items, and then I have a more defensive version which has Bark Skin, and some other more movement items. So I kind of have a couple different, but it's the same units in either list. It's just teching it out to either be more defensive or more aggressive based on who I'm playing against. But yeah, so that's the list I'm taking. I'm going to play it. I'm building it. So more aggressive Eeks or more Jushi. Yeah, I feel bad. I was playing Rashad the other night with that list, and he's got so much defense 5, defense 6 in that army. My auto wounds on 4s and Alchemist Curse was just like melting tree herders. We're just melting and just evaporating. But
someone did ask. Oh, well, yeah. Felix asked, "What GTS are you?"
Oh
planning
yeah.
on? So I'll go first. I've got King of Monsters in January, Shiloh Slaughter in February. There's one in March, and I'm spacing on it. April would be Lone Wolf, I think, right?
Yeah.
May will be the Blue City Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
June will be I'll be running Kings of Memphis 2, June 25th and 26th here in Memphis. And July will be Masters. August will be TNT. And I'll probably, I don't know, at the back end of the year I haven't thought through it all the way yet.
Yeah.
How about you, Jeremy?
This year is going to be I really want to try to make it a new tournament year. So I'm trying, outside of a couple big ones, I want to go to events I've never been to. So February is going to be Riddle of Steel. That's our biggest one. We're going to be recording an episode with Rashad and the gang, hopefully in the next couple days. So stay tuned for that. It's pretty close to sold out. It may be sold out by the time we post, but Rashad has a waiting list since it's being held at Scott's house. They have a hard cap of 26 people, so 13 tables. But we're all really excited for that. He's been working on the tournament pack, refining it. He's had it, taken a look at by a couple people. He's working on all the special characters right now that the new pack has come out. Thinking about how are these guys going to interact with other all that stuff. So Riddle of Steel in February, Lone Wolf in April, especially this Lone Wolf being, I think it's going to maybe have some of the UK people over. So I think it's going to be like a really big event. And then not quite sure. In the early part of summer, probably something up in Pacific Northwest. But depending
Rose City Rumble, maybe?
Yeah, Rose City Rumble, or at least to get up there to one of those events. But I definitely want to make it to Memphis once this year. So contemplating either Blue City Brawl or your tournament. I'm leaning more towards your event just because I want to be there to support you, and what time of the year it is may work out
better
easier.
Than May
yeah. And I've never been to Memphis, and I know there's a lot of stuff that I'll either come myself, or if Hillary can get the time.
Oh, you all come. I'll take a couple extra days, and we'll do.
Because go to all the
museums
music,
and all the rock and roll.
Exactly. But no, so I'm definitely making it to Memphis because I need to do. I've never done a Southeast tournament, and then I would like to maybe make it to either Northeast event, so either Crossroads or maybe Vanguard. Or something in Mid-Atlantic. I want to get to something on the East Coast next year, but I'm not sure. But I really want next year to be. I want to go to tournaments that I've never been. Besides the main
I'm definitely.
ones.
I just thought about it. I'm definitely going to go to the Michigan GT again. Right, that was in October. So I'll definitely, because I mean, I stay with my mom, and like it's cheap, and it's a vacation / a tournament. So,
and then I'll go to Alamo this year probably. I didn't go last year. And by then I'll have my new Twilight Kin done, and I like to have Ryan take a look at it completed. And that's another thing. Hillary's never been to the Alamo or anything like that. So
it's a great event.
Yeah. So I'll go to some events myself, but the events that she comes with me, I'm trying to be like make them into mini vacations. Like it's in a town that we've never visited before.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
That's good. It sounds like we're going to have a banner year of tournaments. And going back to what Nick said, one of the other things I think this is going to be a year that I hope that Mantic uses to do this is that they've got to get their QC and their distribution under control so that like get their quality control problems out of
Mhm.
resolved, because it's great you have great customer service, but don't make the mistakes in the first place, right? Is even better. And then obviously distribution issues where like we're just not. It's just taking too long. Like we just got the Elf ships for
Mhm.
Armada, and they've been out for a while. It's like
Mhm.
you've got to. I don't know if that's opening another warehouse. I'm not sure, but they got to get. They
So
got
do
to
you
get the
think
product flowing because
is that
it's
i-
tripling.
is that supply chains issues, or is that just their infrastructure issues, or a
Well, I mean,
combination of
they
both?
it probably is some both, right?
Mhm.
Um, but also like, yeah, it probably is some, getting, but like they don't make like the models. They don't make the models in China, so getting it over
Mhm.
from China, that's not part of the problem, right? Like
Yeah.
they're they're making the they're making the product in the
Oh yeah, because the
UK.
resin stuff, that's stuff that they're making in house,
Uh
right?
huh.
So they can't really, unless they're just sitting because they're sold out of resin,
Well, I
right?
think they're just. I think they didn't do a very good job of planning, and they didn't
Yeah.
plan for how many they actually needed. And
Mhm.
and you know what? If it's gonna be that popular, then you should just start putting people on allocation. And just say, hey, you get this many parts, right? And
Yeah.
another interesting thing that I wanted to bring up is, did you see that Miniature Market was purchased by Asmodee?
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what does that mean for the industry.
Yeah,
Um,
that is
because
interesting.
and Asmodee themselves just got purchased by the holding company that owns like Take Two Interactive.
I was
Um,
listening to the episode when you were talking about Black Friday,
yeah.
and like you said something that in the moment I didn't really think about, but I thought about it. Man, how much do you miss like the War Store being gone? That was always like one of my favorite Black Friday things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Is to
And he
look
had
at
the
the
basement. He had the
yeah,
basement, the troll basement or whatever.
is to go through the War Store and be like, "Oh, what deal?" I just because you mentioned that in the thing, right? Of where,
Yeah, and that
not
might
doing
might be part of the reason why I don't do it anymore, because all
yeah,
those great places, they don't really run specials like that.
yeah.
They're just I don't know. It's just I don't know. Yeah, the war store was great. We would stay up real late and look through their piles and piles and piles of stuff that they
Mhm.
would have on discount, and buy stuff I didn't need because I
Did you get
could.
any more you get any more action figures lately?
Oh, geez. Let's see how long of a cord I have here. This is it's a problem, really.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can.
Oh, yeah, I can see some.
And that's double stacked. Those
Uh-huh,
shelves are 10 on each shelf.
uh-huh. How many are in that series?
Uh, we're up to like 34 released, I think. But I've
Uh-huh.
got like $300 worth of. I've got a bunch of them on order for this year already.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a problem, really.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm addicted. But here's the thing: I don't look at it as an investment. They're just
Mhm.
toys.
Okay.
You know, uh, I'm not gonna make money on it. And for
Mhm.
those that know, those are GI Joe. Oh, but you want to hear a funny score?
Yes.
There's a store called Bargain Hunt. Have you ever
Uh-huh.
heard of Bargain Hunts?
No.
They buy liquidated stuff. So I went there
Mhm.
because somebody on the internet said, "Hey, I
Oh,
think they
oh, it's
have."
like a brick and mortar, you walk into it?
Uh, so
Okay.
they had like Beachhead for like $8.
Mhm,
So I bought four because why wouldn't you?
mhm.
Why
What do they
wouldn't you?
retail for
20,
normally?
22 bucks, 23 bucks.
Okay.
And then I went to a different one and they had Firefly.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, yeah. I mean,
What's your favorite one?
I don't know. They're all pretty dope,
Oh,
dude.
dude, that's
They're,
dope.
yeah, they are. They're all pretty awesome. So these
Uh-huh.
are the new GI Joe classified action figures. So they're 6-inch scale, same as like Black Series from Hasbro's
Yeah, so they're
Star
like
Wars.
the high-end figure, basically.
Yeah, yeah. But what's great about it is they've updated the sculpts, but yet I talk about giving fans what they want. This
Mhm.
is another example of that. Like
Do they
you can
have
still see
Pythona?
what it is. You know what it is, even though they've updated it.
That is my only question. Is there a Pythona?
There is no Python, but there actually are coming out with Python Patrol.
Okay.
Uh, I have the Python Patrol Bat Trooper and the
Mhm.
Python Patrol Viper are coming out in June. So I've got them
I
on
am the
pre-order.
Vindo Viper.
Yeah, but like yeah, it's really crazy the amount of detail on these models. I mean, yeah, and let me know when you're ready because I have some doubles. So,
No, I can't do the toys. Like I've been told
yeah.
I can have my miniatures and comics, but that's it. I cannot have that's when like Hillary got me the Infinity Gauntlet. She's like, "I know I said no toys." But she got me that for my birthday. which was super fun to build.
Exactly. Yeah, and I just been, so it's been like fun because right now they go through that or they're going through that struggle of getting stuff out of China. So getting product is really difficult. And so you sort of have to, it really legitimately feels like a hunt.
Yeah.
To go find the stuff. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So Jay, let's go back to what I was saying before. I really think they bought them because they are a distributor and Miniature Market has a large distribution footprint. And I think that's what they bought them for, is to have another Midwest distributor. So the interesting thing would be, are they going to shut the store down? And if they don't, how does it change? Because typically, manufacturers don't discount their product. They don't want to compete against the stores, right? Most of the time, you go to GW's website, they're not discounting 20% off, right? They're charging you full retail. So all you got to do, though, is if you want to read about it, is just go to Board Game Geek, take your pick, any of those sites. Just look up Asmodee purchases Miniature Market, and there's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments in discussion on the subject. And it's interesting timing because they also, Asmodee has just been acquired for like $3 billion by a holding company that mostly does video games. So
interesting.
Yeah, I think Jay, you're asking the question that a lot of us are just like shaking our head. I think it's just for the miniature. St. Louis is kind of centrally located. They have they're a thriving store that does good discounts. But what does that mean for the future for the other stuff that's not Asmodee? Do they want to keep selling?
Yeah,
non-Asmodee stuff. I don't know.
Interesting.
It is interesting. It's definitely a changing in dynamics. I mean, because Asmodee over the years they started off as just a player, right, of designing games, and they slowly have been acquiring the best games like Catan and Ticket to Ride, and like the best games, and then they started gobbling up distributors and consolidating and start distributing their own games and distributing other people's games. Like Asmodee has the contract with Mantic to distribute the Hellboy game in the United States. So yeah, it's interesting. And I wonder, there's a podcast that I listen to that I would recommend if you like podcasts about business and board games and gaming in general. It's called Board Game Insider, and Board Game Insider. It's available everywhere, and it's really good. It's two industry veterans. They both own companies. One retired. His name is Stephen Bonagor from Stronghold Games. And then the other one is, I'm going to slaughter his name, but it's Chevicek he's from Poland, and he owns Portal Games. And they take questions from the audience, and they answer questions, and they talk about news. And in this last episode, they spent a little bit of time discussing the implications of not necessarily buying Miniature Market, but what does it mean to have a new holding company buy Asmodee? So I find this kind of stuff super interesting. I don't know about you, Jeremy.
Yeah, we did get one board game thing this year. We got the big box for Terraforming Mars.
I should mention, I got a bunch of board games for Christmas, dude. We got Draxia, right?
Yeah.
We got the expansion for Draxia where it's PvP.
Oh, the corrupted
mana. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We haven't played it yet. It was good. Did you play it? Is it good?
Yeah, we have that. Yeah.
What's the
so basically it's like we play with it sometimes because it's kind of like it's all about making your opponent discard cards and have to spend extra resources. So it's kind of like screw you, no F you, no. But if you're playing with someone who doesn't mind that game style, it does add another dynamic to the game. So
answer Chuck, not yet, but he is.
I wish that for Draxia they would make a new monster pack. Or I haven't even looked at that company lately to see if they're doing.
I bought the game, and I bought my daughter's friend.
Did you get the they have the upgraded playmat for the expansion too? We have is nice.
Does it have expansion on it? I don't know if it had.
They have two of the neoprene playmats. They have the one neoprene playmat for the main game, and then they have one that you can buy separate for the expansion. Because the expansion just comes with so you should get the neoprene mat for the expansion too, because it is worth.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Awesome. Yeah, so we got that. We also got Downforce.
Okay.
And then we got some Ravensburgers games. We got Gargoyles based on the Gargoyles cartoon from the
Oh,
90s.
cool. What is that? Is that like
You're fighting Xantos. You're the Gargoyles. And you're like
is it
going
like
on the
6 to
city.
12 or 12 and up, or like what level is it like
Let
what
me grab it.
kinda...
I don't know. Should be here. And then we also got. We also got an
I
Aliens
love
board
me
game. Yeah.
I love me some gargoyles.
Well, my daughter. Okay, if I'm going to tell you this, then my daughter's she likes aliens and she likes gargoyles.
Oh,
and
cool.
NECA has now made a 6-inch collectible Goliath.
Oh, okay.
With the so it's full on.
Yeah, because I know NECA had done a lot with the turtles, toy wise.
Yeah,
they had a lot of turtle stuff.
This says. What the hell is the 5 3D buildings?
Oh, cool.
Let's see.
And you said you got that, and then also an Aliens game, like
Aliens.
Yeah,
these both came from Target.
Based off the second movie, or is it?
I think it's based on the second movie. It looks like your hero's trying to get out.
Okay.
You're stuck on the thing. Let's see. They don't have the normal symbols that you normally have. 2 to 5 players, 45 to 60 minutes, ages 10 plus.
Okay. You have to let me know how you like both those games.
It's cool though, because like I don't know if you can see this, but there's like cardstock buildings.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and what's weird is they made a weird choice, which is the playable characters are models. You can see them, right?
Okay.
But then Xantos and Demona are cardstock standees.
That's weird. You would think if they're going to do
miniatures, you would think go all, or no, not at all, right?
No, that seems kind of lame.
So this is a great question. I don't know I have a good answer to that. Like I've got one for what's the game? It's a card game that just came out from Richard Garfield a couple years ago, where they have the pre-made decks. Keyforge, and I've got a couple of Keyforge mats. I don't know. Like I don't know what the answer is. I'm assuming there's probably like a mailer tube would be the way.
Or you can get play mats for collectible card games. They have cases for those. So like a lot of people play Magic the Gathering on big play mats. They sell lots of nice containers for those type of play mats, which often fit neoprene mats for other things. But there isn't really like a great storage. I mean, I have some old I have an old smaller 4x4 neoprene mat that like I cut up to make my display board. So I have an empty, I don't know, whatever company tableware that made that you can use, but no, there isn't a great way to store those weird size neoprene mats.
Well, if GW has their way, every game will have its own custom size, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, and I can't say anything. Legion is,
but Draxia is fun. If you haven't checked that out, guys, Google Legends of Draxia.
We're big fans. We're big fans.
Yeah, it's a cool, nice, lightweight, build them, fight monsters, hero card game, and nice components. That's a fun one.
Yeah, we played it at Kings of Winter with the guys from Kansas City. No, they were from Wichita. So it was.
Did you see they're going to do another printing of Cursed City this next year for Warhammer Quest? Were you familiar with that when it came out last year? And it was like super heavily allocated, and they didn't make any, and they were selling on eBay that weekend for $400 or $500. They're reprinting.
Good. I'm glad they're making more if people want it. So I have to deal with scalpers.
Because I like Warhammer Quest. I like it's the game design of that is pretty solid, but the first one that came out, the Cursed Silver Tower or whatever, was too crazy. Age of Sigmar, I can't understand anything. Whereas the Cursed City is more like a vampire mystery human city. It's a little bit more familiar in its tropes, and I'm still looking for that really nice miniature dungeon delve game to sort of play with my miniature curious friends, you know what I mean? So I may pick that up when it gets released.
It's interesting, I think that's something that they have not done, right? Mantic has not made a card game yet. They've done just about everything else: board games, miniature games, tabletop games, dungeon delvers. They've had the things like Pandora and what was that one that came in a box? It was the precursor to Dungeon Saga. So they've done lots and lots of games. And as the blog said, they're going to do an Umbrella Academy board game.
Did you ever play Disc Wars?
I have Disc Wars. I've not played it. Warhammer.
What do you
Yeah.
think of those card or disc or card game are things that simulate a tabletop game but without miniatures?
It's okay for like a temporary replacement. I had the game Battlegrounds, right,
Mhm.
which is the same sort of thing, which is it was a deck of cards,
Okay.
and on the card was printed a unit from the
Uh-huh.
top down. So it's like here is a unit of health archers,
Yeah.
and it had their stats, and you could like take dry erase markers and kill them or whatever.
I mean, I'm
Uh,
thinking what kind of card game would they make? And that could be cool if they made some sort of where each person picked an army and you were fighting a battle. I mean, they could probably do something cool with that.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
But that I mean, to launch a card game like that probably is like crazy resources.
Well, and they'd have to go outside of their house, to
Mhm.
get the designers.
Do
Right?
we
So-
really want them entering a new
Well,
space? Or
that's a
do
whole other topic, right?
do we
Which
want them
I have lamented
completing?
all along that
Yeah.
they need to just focus on the games they already got, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So what do you got planned for the week? I'm gonna be gaming tomorrow. Well, actually, I'm eating a candy bar today, and one of my crowns pops off. So I'll be
Oh.
getting that fixed tomorrow. But after that, I've got a couple games scheduled with my good friend Taylor.
My wife is looking at me with a sad face.
Well, good thing we're only 5 minutes from being done.
Okay, so I'm painting. I'm
Mhm.
working on my gargoyles. I am gonna try to hit the movies to see Ghostbusters. I think I wanna I don't know. I really am trying to do um preferred model count. So a preferred model count is 8 on a troop. But these are GW gargoyle, with big wings, and it's like
Good luck
I
with
don't
that.
know. You know what I mean? I may not be able to. I'm really gonna try, but I would love to try to get a good chunk of the way through both those units, some progress on that this week. So that's basically my week is I have a couple business, some, real life business stuff I got to do and get ready for the new year and stuff like that. But this week is just going to be paint every day. Going to try to get as much hobby time in as I can over the next week. What about you?
My daughter's off. I'm off.
Uh-huh.
That probably means we'll be painting some models.
Okay.
We will definitely be painting some. Well, I would go.
Well,
see
let me
some
know
movie.
if you want to do some daytime after dark.
Ooh, I
Because
like that.
Rashad and I, and Steve Forster's been on a lot lately. We've been trying to do some daytime since people are on vacation. Daytime after dark.
Yeah, I'm down. I got to get some. I'm a painting desk right now. I've got the last remnants of Armada. So I've got a couple broken up ships from the Warlord Games terrain piece that I've got to finish, and then I've got 3 or 4 individual ogres. By the way, this is not news to a lot of players, but I played my first game with an ogre bully. God damn, he's good, dude. Who in the chat can read lips?
And then what else I was going to say? Oh, so last year my goal was to play Dead Zone.
Yes.
And I did and loved it. This next year I got to play Armada. So maybe when I come down to Memphis, you can give me some Armada test
I'm
games.
not very good at it.
I
have Armada.
Someone at the War Room can teach me Armada. So
we'll show you how to play.
Because I want to play that game this year at some point.
Do you have a fleet?
No. I have a ship half painted. Remember, I was going to have a fleet in every army for demos because I can't tell you, I played Man of War when it was out like a feed.
4 years ago. Yeah.
When I was in middle school, it was just like I love
early
ship
90s
combat. Yeah. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I really want to play Armada, but just haven't had the chance to. So but
well, awesome. Any final thoughts?
No, just if you're around, anyone's around this week, you want to paint, After Dark will be going, or
just drop a note on,
or shoot me a message and say, hey, that's what I've been doing. Because if no one's on After Dark, I will watch TV, but I'll just say, hey, I'm painting. If anyone wants to get on, let me know. Yeah, just excited. I've been getting a lot of great UB games in. Tom and I have been playing a lot. Rashad and I have been playing a lot. So just doing a lot of testing and theory crafting and stuff like that. So it's a really exciting, lots of stuff going on.
Spymaster, let me know what army review we are going to record at King of the Monsters. You decide. And we'll find the people there to pull it out.
Awesome.
Maybe we should go do Kingdoms of Men for our buddy since he's never going to do it.
Oh, Alex, is he supposed to do that?
I mean, that's a running joke at this point.
Who knows?
Who knows?
He's just like frosting on the cake. Whatever he does is like, I don't count on it. So whatever he does is just
he's like the bonus guy.
Yeah,
like,
it's just whatever you get out of him.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, it's like Mark Zielinski dropping a Duncan Rhodes episode.
Yeah,
ooh, that's great, right? You don't expect it, and you're just like, oh, that's great.
Exactly.
Well, awesome, guys. Hopefully, everybody got everything they wanted for Christmas, or at least a bunch of cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. Whatever you celebrate. Yeah, Felix has been on After Dark a bunch. All the Memphis guys, Hot Dan and Devlin have been on too. So
cool. Yeah. Cool. All right, everybody. Well, I guess that's going to do us for tonight.
Okay.
And until next time, keep countercharging. See you next week.